Jerome Powell update.
1.3%. Ethereum coming in at 4,494. It's about to be neutral on the day. And XRP, it's coming in at $3.05. It's currently up 2% in the past 24 hours. Total cryptocurrency market cap climbs back above 4 trillion. Then we get this. This is very, very interesting. Eric Trump has hinted at a mystery country scooped up over 200,000.
So yeah, mystery country may have 200,000 Bitcoin worth 22 billion without telling anyone. 20, that's a lot of money, right? And we're actually pushing for digital asset XRP. Who knows? They might buy XRP as well.
Bitcoin, folks, that's $22 billion. I'll do the math for you. Now think about this, like Costco hoarding all the toilet paper before a storm. If you walk into the store the next day and the shelves are empty, what happened? Well, people panic. Prices spike and everyone realizes that the game just changed. A country buying this much Bitcoin, it's not an investment, it's a strategy. It's like a nation stocking up on oil reserves before announcing an energy shortage. And here's the kicker. They did it quietly. That's not bullish. That's nation state adoption. And if you,
I mean, literally a country buying crypto, there's nothing more bullish than that. When they announce it, expect what happens when USA goes for XRP, which I think will definitely happen because they have already been hinting at it, even during elections. That is one of the biggest bullish factors you can have here. And, Eric Trump saying a mystery country, probably not USA, but we're very close for XRP being bought out by countries just because of technology alone, in my personal opinion.
Every country, on just about every continent, I've got projects, and I talk to people to Bitcoin mining. I really believe in that asset. Or, our country just bought, 200,000 Bitcoin, and we did so very quietly. We don't want anybody to know about it, but that's how much.
Something.
So yeah, it's a pretty bad volume, but you get an idea. They bought a lot of Bitcoin, and they're probably buying other altcoins as well. Cup and handle bullish pattern, XRP. XRP could hit $15 by 2025. You could regret not following me. So again, $15 is going to be very hard to get to that point, but it is not impossible.
Thank you. I'll take it. Let's talk about it. The chart showing up. I'll blow this up for those of you staring at the screen. You got the old cup and handle pattern. Classic bullish move. Imagine it's like brewing a cup of coffee. You pour it into the cup, the steam rises, then you grab the handle and you tilt it. That's your breakout moment, everyone. Analysts see this playing out $15 by the end of the year. Sounds crazy? Well, not when you tie in ETFs. Look what happened when gold ETFs hit. Suddenly, everyone went from hedge funds to your uncle's retirement account could buy gold with one click. ETFs are like putting crypto in a groceries aisle, right? Instead of making people dig around in a sketchy back alley. If the SEC greenlights an XRP ETF in just 3 weeks, you'll have...
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. If they greenlight this, it's a bullish run from here.
Pension funds, hedge funds, maybe...
I mean, XRP ETFs funds are probably the first thing. What if it goes into the ETF funds? Wow, that would be certainly nice, right?
Even the same mystery country from earlier piling in. And you know what? That's what we call rocket fuel.
That is definitely a very, very bullish momentum XRP is going to have. Less than one liquidity, positive price action is brewing with analysts stating a $10 XRP if we pass 4.59 with volume. I mean, yeah, once we break that barrier, it's kind of getting easier and easier to climb to $10.
And you want to stir the pot up even more? Well, XRP supply on Coinbase is down 90% in the last 90 days. Something is going on. Think about it like a concert, right? Tickets sell out. Suddenly, everyone who didn't buy early is on StubHub paying triple. Same thing here. Less XRP on the exchange, it means less liquidity. So when demand surges, boom, you get a price gap. The magic number that analysts are watching on XRP is sitting right around $4.59. You break that with real volume, and it's not crazy to see $10 on the horizon.
I mean, yeah, that's the first one we have to push through. Once we do that, easy peasy from there.
Folks, that's not hopium. That's pure economics. Low supply, high demand, that's your basic supply shock. And the players who know this, they're not waiting. They are already stacking. And we get this, the Fed, they are set.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's definitely institutions stacking.
The cut
They're
rate
buying. Institutions are buying XRP.
rates tomorrow. Now, most people hear about, rate cuts, and what do? They snooze. They don't actually understand it. They don't get what that means. But here's why it matters. When money gets cheaper, banks get fatter. It's like lowering the cover charge at a nightclub. Suddenly the line outside triples. The drinks keep flowing in the house, aka the bank. They take home the biggest cut. Rate cuts mean that lending gets a whole lot easier. Credit's
Again, what do you do when rate cuts go down? You start buying, right? You start buying properties, you start buying XRP. And especially if that Clarity Act goes through that we are hoping for.
cards, mortgages, business loans, they all pump money through the system. And which stock benefits? Banks. Always the banks. It's no coincidence that Wall Street has its champagne on ice before the Fed even made the announcement.
That's why we're seeing such small movements right now. I guess because some people buy before the announcements are in, speculating if it's going to pump or not.
You know what's coming. If you're working in the mortgage industry, you know these rates are about to drop. You know a lot of these people that got 6, 7, 8% rates, they're about to refinance as soon as they get below what they call the magical number, right? You're supposed to get 2 points under what you currently have for it to make a difference. I remember when we got rate cuts last time, we got mortgages down. What was it, like 2 to 3%? Everyone was rushing in. My buddy was doing mortgages. He made a killing on it. That is what rate cuts do, everyone. And what's going to happen? People are going to start borrowing money. What happens when people start to borrow money? Well, risk assets start to fly. We've seen it before with crypto. Nate put this out. First XRP ETF offering spot XRP.
So this is just an exposure, guys. Don't, feel too fooled about this because this is actually not really an XRP ETF. It is kind of backed an XRP ETF, but it's just a small XRP ETF. So it's not 100% that, but the real ones are starting in October, and that's what I'm bullish for.
Exposure. This is the first of many. This isn't the real deal, okay? And I don't mean it's not real. It's real. This is like the appetizer, though, because this isn't a pure spot ETF. They are using a loophole here from the 40 Act structure to bring this to market, okay? Don't get me wrong. This is very, very bullish. And the fact, if this does go live on Thursday, I don't see why it wouldn't go live. You never know if the SEC. But if this does go live on Thursday, and 100% we are getting the XRP spot ETFs with the direct exposure coming in October. Okay? Rex Osprey, they used a clever loophole here, and good for them.
So they're going to be the first ones to actually have these spot ETFs, but I don't feel like that's going to be the main buying point. The main buying point is going to be the bigger an institution, the more buys there is going to be. So keep that in mind, guys.
It sucks that it comes down to this, right? That we have to use loopholes in order to get these things approved. That's going to all come to an end. Don't worry about that. So what is this? It's pretty much all this is it's a regulatory shortcut, right? It's not some legal trick. It sets precedent. Once one firm does it, all the other ones start to follow. This isn't just a clever move. It's a crack in the dam. And believe me, the SEC is going to patch this crack at some point. But what?
I mean, just going for ETFs, even if they're first, the big bull run, the 90% of volume is going to be in October.
Once the water starts to flow,
I like this
you
channel.
don't patch it up. You just got to ride the flood. And here's the actual filing. You can see it for those of you looking at the screen. You can see that we have the XRP ETF right here. It is coming on Thursday. I mean, this really is the perfect storm if you think about it. Tomorrow, you get your rate cuts. Thursday, you get your first XRP spot ETF. The XRP chart, it's looking like it's in a great spot and it's ready to run up here. And then you wait another 2 to 3 weeks and we have more XRP ETFs. This is a very, very good position to be in. So
again, this is the start of many. This is what XRP needs to push $6. I know I sound like a broken record, but This is the only thing that really saved Ethereum and Bitcoin once it crashed. And XRP kind of needs this right now. It doesn't need the rate cuts as much as it needs the ETFs to be approved, which I feel like there's a 90% chance they will get approved.
Here's the bigger picture, everyone. Nations buying Bitcoin, XRP setting up textbook bullish patterns, supply
nice.
shocks brewing, Fed rate cuts feeding the fire, and ETFs loopholes getting cracked open. This isn't some random news. It's all pointing to the same exact conclusions. The financial system is changing faster than ever.
And XRP has been predicting it correctly, and that's where XRP wins. They've been calling that this will change for the long term, and now that we saw this, it finally changed, and it's here. And now XRP is the first in line where institutions will use this type of, technology that XRP has. That's why they're pushing for XRP ETF. That's why these exchanges are pushing for XRP ETF, because they know a lot of these institutions will be buying the ETFs by itself.
Anyone expected. Get ready, strap in, lock in, get your exit plans all worked out. If you don't have one, if you don't know what to do, I got a one-on-one call. Very, very limited spots left.
So yeah, you get the idea of XRP ETFs. XRP versus Swift. It's a very big market, guys. XRP could be literally $1 billion. It is $1 billion market. Isn't like the company already valued at 1 billion, guys? So just let that sink in. This is millions and millions of users before we even got in retail investors. We got like 90 viewers right now, and XRP has about 3 million users holding XRP. 3 to 5 million users before it's only known in crypto and finance space. When it goes to a live stream, wow.